Hey guys, this is Jenna with Hill Valley Farm, and we have had another kidding, and that would be Hill Valley Spindelli. And she was bred to Hill Valley Flying Scotsman, and Ellie ended up having kids on January 31st at 11 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to them now. So here they are. This little girl, they're both Ellie had twin does. So yay, Ellie. And this little girl, her name is Greta. And she's actually sold. She is polled and blue-eyed. And she has something on her head. I'm trying to get. Anyways, you can see they are so tiny. But they are so healthy and bouncy and just having a grand old time. So... Greta was sold off of our reservation list, and as was everyone actually that has been on reservation. And so, anyways, her full name is Hill Valley Blau Augen Greta, means blue eyes in German. And since we went with Greta, we know that's a German name, so that's why we named her that. And she will be leaving when she's about 10 weeks to a farm about 4 hours away from here. And so the new owner is super excited to have her. She'll have a doeling friend about her age, and so that'll be really good. Now the second little doe here, very interesting. She's got the coloring of Ellie. Ellie was really that dark when she was born, and she reminds me so much of Ellie's great granddam. Her name was Corey's Fancy Tea Esther. And I know that name sounds kind of familiar because that is Irma's sister, birth sister. It was Corey's Fancy Tea Irma and Corey's Fancy Tea Esther. They're both out of Corey's Fancy in Mayflower. And so, sadly, Esther passed away last year. She was, hi Ellie. She's at the Breeders' Farm, our very, very good friend and mentor, Patty, and we never really, we had a necropsy, but anyways, that's another story for another day. But anyways, this little girl reminds me so much of Esther's, the way she looked on her head, the white poll, the frosted ears. And so I did a little bit of a tribute name, and I went with Hill Valley Echoes of Esther, and we're going to call her Echo. And Echo is retained. She's going to be staying here because since I own Flying Scotsman, I really want to see what kind of udders he puts on his daughters. And so the only way I can know for sure is if I keep one for myself. And so, you know, I've said before, this is actually a heavy retaining year for us just because of our many new herd sires. So, little Miss Echo will be staying. Echo has brown eyes and is not polled. That I can tell. I'm still kind of watching her. But I know Greta is definitely polled the way her hair sticks up. Yes, you're so cute. She is. They're both so adorable and hopping and just healthy. They came out healthy, really ready to nurse right away. They just did really, really well. So that is Miss Ellie. Ellie had... she did really well. She did have to be assisted with both because Ellie is a small girl, but she's got a nice little udder on her. And, of course, she's a first freshener, which means she's really not that fun to milk right now. She's learning about getting milked. And so, you know, the first 2 weeks, the kids stay on them constantly. And after 2 weeks, I start... letting them, you know, not be with them at night. So I kind of see what we're getting. I will probably let these girls stay on for a lot longer, just because they're little and I want them to get as much as possible. If I do separate them, they will definitely be getting milk back in the morning. But they're doing really, really well, and I could not be happier with Ellie. She's, you know, Ellie was our miracle baby. If anyone followed us a couple years ago, she was born February 20th, 2021, and she was born on the coldest night of the year, of course. And by the time I got her into the house, her temperature actually was not registering and she was not responding. So I warmed her up with a hairdryer and got her back, and every day since then, she's been great. There's never been another problem. And so we're so excited with Ellie. She's always been short. She's very little. She comes by that honest. Her dam and her sire are both on the very short side of the Nigerians. She's not under height by any means, but she is not at all close to being tall or, like one of the larger does. I love her body type. I do like her rump. I mean, she is standing, at a natural stance, and that rump is not steep. I mean, it has a little bit of an angle on it, as you can see, but no, it's really nice. So I kind of like what I'm seeing out of Miss Ellie. So like I said, Ellie did really, really well, and we're just so thrilled with how she did and how she's continuing to do, and how the kids are just healthy and well, and 2 does. That was so nice. And, a lot of times we talk about first fresheners a lot. A lot of people, we don't, we're nervous about them only because they've never had kids. We don't know how long they're going to go in their gestation. This was, I think, on day 149, maybe 150. I think it's 150. That's right. It was 150. And, we're just not used to that. So it was a little bit longer gestation than we were used to. But, I mean, they came out extremely healthy. And so that was really great. The other thing about first fresheners is milking them. It's not fun. You get them on the stand. And we'd practiced with Ellie. She jumped up on the stand. She got up there. We played with her udder. We fed her treats. Doesn't matter. She still does not like that udder touched. Oh goodness, that was another kid. That's probably Jack. He does that when he loses his mother. I'm sure Irma's around here somewhere. But anyways, she doesn't like to be milked. She doesn't like you to touch those teats, and she does not like to stand still on the stand. Whether she's eating or not, she'll stop eating. So, it is the first freshener blues. So it's going to be interesting. But a lot of times they calm down. A lot of times I have to tie their legs. I have not tied her legs yet, but I see that in her near future when I end up putting the milk machine on her. Right now I'm just hand milking because I'm really not getting a whole lot, and there's no point in me putting a milk machine on her until I get some, I don't want to stress her teats or her udder out before. So anyway, she's a first freshener. What else am I going to say, So that was Ellie. And the next that we had to kid was Cedar View Tuscany 5-star M. So I will introduce you to them the next video.